Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. Our guest today is Aimee Vaerewyck. Aimee is a spa owner, licensed esthetician, professional makeup artist with a BA in theater. She is a member of the IATSE Local 187 and a Hello, Gorgeous executive team member. She loves to make people feel good about themselves and at the same time educate them. A smile is the best makeup, and she wants to help women smile. She enjoys time with her family and friends, travel, and learning new things. Hi, Aimee. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I am so excited to have you. Let's just educate our listeners. Again, Aimee is part of our Hello Gorgeous executive team, and so we get to see each other quite often, and she takes care of my face, and I always tell her I don't need to look like Miss America. I just don't want to look any older than I am right now. So, and she does a really good job of keeping me right where I need to be. So, and I really don't go for the pampering part of it, although you do a great job pampering me. I go more for the upkeep of what's going on. So I'm grateful. But I'm very excited. So I want to talk about you. So tell me a little bit about, like, how did you get into aesthetics?
Oh, I always wanted to go to cosmetology school ever since I can remember, but it was always put into me, go to college and get your degree. So I did attend IUSB here in town, and I received a bachelor's degree in costume and makeup design. And quite a bit later on, I actually started working at a salon, running the front desk and doing makeup for them. And the owner of the salon, Sharon, she asked me if I would be interested in attending school for aesthetics. And I thought, wow, how awesome is that? How exciting. So I asked, as long as you work with me, I would be happy to do it. So I went to school for aesthetics when I was almost 30 years old.
Wow.
And yes, and I received my license about 10 months later. And now, 15 years later, that's what I'm loving to do.
Wow. And what is, I know the variety of services you offer, facials, and you do makeup, and you do tattooing, which we're going to get into that in a little bit. But what's your favorite part of what you do?
Oh, I love that I am able to do so many different things because it never gets boring. It's always exciting. I'm always hopping into something different. But I think the best part of it is really just making people feel good about themselves, making people happy. And I have so many great clients that I've, become almost family with.
Mm-hmm. That's what I loved.
It's great.
I loved about that too, standing behind the chair. It's just not a client that walks in to your salon once a month. It truly is somebody that becomes family. And that makes all the difference in the world. So one of the services that you offer is bridal, and you do, you've done makeup for photo shoots and some of the bridal. But what I loved about the pictures that I've seen of the brides that you've done is that you make them look very natural. Like, it's not an overdone look for them. You really make them look like just an enhanced version of themselves. What's your secret to that?
Thank you. I tell people I am extremely light-handed. I'm very conservative. I think it's easier to add to something than to take it away.
I agree.
Which is something that I had to learn over time because I was originally trained in theater makeup, where it's usually a little heavier and it needs to be seen from stage. So I did have to train myself, but I always say it's easier to add to something, make it a little darker if that's what the client wants, rather than to go wiping it away and taking it off.
No, I agree with that.
I'm extremely light-handed.
I love that. Now, you mentioned your work with the theater, and I know, because I know you personally, but you've had an opportunity to work on some amazing Broadway productions. Tell us about the work that you do for that.
I have. That's another job that I just love to do. I have been an IATSE union member for 21 plus years.
Wow.
And I love it. When I first started, I actually started doing lighting and running spotlight because you have to work your way up in seniority. But my love was always costuming, wigs, makeup. And so as I worked my way up, I was able to do more in those departments. And so when a Broadway show comes into town, I'm on the list. I get a call and I'm asked if I can work the shows. I do have to work every show and taking it in and loading it out. But it's so exciting and just so wonderful. I've met so many amazing actors and people and crew members who work backstage on shows. And every show is a little bit different. So that makes it fun as well.
Now, what's been your favorite show so far? Like, give us a few that you've done. Like, name a few of the shows that you've been a part of, and then share with us what your favorite show was.
Oh, goodness. I have worked a bunch of concerts running Spotlight. I've run Spotlight for Jerry Seinfeld, I worked on deck for U2 when they were here. I've done some big concerts. I have also done wardrobe for some great Broadway productions, Wicked, Beauty and the Beast, Chorus Line, Cats. You can pretty much go down the list. And I've probably worked, on the majority of them. Now, my favorites, just like my work, there are little things that I like about each one that can, that I could say, that's my favorite because of that or this. But I will say the first production of Beauty and the Beast that came through town, that was amazing. Working Wicked the first time it came through was just wonderful. I think mainly because of the people that I meet. The actors and the crew really, really just stand out in those productions. And they can make or break a show.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Of course. Well, and I'm sure like everything else, you've got prima donnas in, some of their roles. And then you've got others that are so humble. And I imagine it just depends on the actor. And Phantom of the Opera was one that just came through. Did you work that one? Did you not?
I did. I assisted on makeup for that, and that was just awesome. I learned a little bit on every show, too, because you're working in different departments, and I will say assisting on makeup for that show was great. The actor that I assisted that played the Phantom, Quentin, he was wonderful and just a sweetheart, and Rudy, who has been touring with Phantom for years and years, was just amazing, and he taught me a lot.
That's awesome. And so now on top of the Broadway shows, you've done some makeup for some pretty famous people too. Tell us what that's like.
I do love the makeup part of it. And I have had some great people that I've worked with. I've done makeup for comedians like Brian Regan, Cheech and Chong, and Shelby Chong. I've assisted Tom Wopat from the original Dukes of Hazzard when he toured with Chicago. I just did makeup for Martin Short and Steve Martin, which was a blast, and everyone was awesome to work with. And I just say it's my job, and I try and be respectful of the people that I work with and professional and always be there for them. And I just treat them how I would want to be treated.
Mm-hmm. And you do a great job with that. And I think that so many times that's what people don't understand when you meet a celebrity like that. They just want to be treated like you and I. Like they don't necessarily want to be fawned over. They want to be treated normally. So I think you hit the nail on the head with that one.
That's right. Awesome. And I think that does help. I always say, I just try my best to be professional.
That's right. That's right. So I am honored to have you a part of our Hello Gorgeous executive team. And I was trying to think back, is it 4 years or 5 years that you and your husband, Chris, have been a part of the executive team?
Yes, I believe I have been on the board 5 years and Chris has been on the board for 4 years.
Okay. And let's talk about that. Like, how did that happen? Do you remember how all of that came to be?
Wow. When I started working at Bangs. That was the first salon that I worked at, and actually the only salon up until the time that I went out on my own. I knew Trisha, and I had heard of Hello Gorgeous, and I just thought it was a great organization and how awesome the things that you did and what you provided for women. And at the same time, there was another employee at the salon who was also named Aimee, and she was in school and heard about Hello Gorgeous and also wanted to bring it in. So her and I worked together, and thank goodness we were able to bring it into the salon, and Bangs became an affiliate, and it's awesome that they still are.
Yes, they are.
And when Aimee Roos, when both of us left the salon near around the same time as each other, and I still wanted to be a part of it. So I kept in touch with you, kept in touch with Trish, and asked, is there anything I can do, even on the buses? If you guys do a makeover and go somewhere, can I please help? And I'll never forget the day that you asked.
Really? Okay, tell me. Remind me.
No, we were at my studio at Sola
That's what
Salon.
I was thinking. Yes, that's what I remember.
Yes, and we had just finished your facial and your lashes, and you said you would talk to Mike, and you asked if I would become a part of it.
Yes, I remember that. That's awesome. Well, and now you're not only, so you're a part of the executive team, and your husband Chris has come on as part of the executive team, and you even do a little bit more for us than just being a part of the executive team, my inner core, as I call you, but you actually go now, you're a salon affiliate coach. So you go throughout the country and you open salons, you teach them how to create the Hello Gorgeous experience in their salons. And again, we've hand chosen the executive team, and we hand chose the salon affiliate coaches as well. And so I wanted to ask you, so you go into these other salons, and you being a salon owner, how important is it to have that education that we teach the salon affiliates there in their certification about keeping a gorgeous woman safe during her makeover?
I believe it's extremely important. I expect that all of my employees down the road will go through the training just like anybody else. All of us as cosmetologists, nail techs, estheticians, we know how to perform our services. A nail tech knows how to do a manicure and a pedicure. I know how to do a facial. However, you're not always thinking about all of the extra precautions that you need to take when you're working on a woman battling cancer with her immune system down and, her going in for her treatments. Any little thing can affect them, and they can get an infection so much faster than anyone else. And then it just makes their treatment last longer, and it can cause a lot of problems. So I really think it is very important just to remind people and the girls working just that they need to be clean, do things the safe way, be sanitary, and just take all the special precautions when the woman comes in. So we're not teaching them, how to do a manicure, pedicure. We're just showing them how to do it in a safe way for these women so they can have a really great Hello Gorgeous experience.
Well, and I think, one of the reasons that I designed the program the way that I did was because we had women in the beginning of the program that would deny the services. So we would say, we want to treat you to a manicure, we want to treat you to a pedicure, and the first words out of our mouth were, no, my doctor told me I can't have that. And, I would start to ask, well, why did they say no? And it's just for those reasons. There's a chance of infection, fungus, bacteria, whatever that looks like. And when I started to really think about that, I thought, I was not taught in beauty school how to take care of a woman with any type of compromised immune system. And so then going back in and talking to the doctors and the nurses and asking them, why are you telling these women they can't have this done? They confirmed it. So in the program, we've taken every precaution that we can think possible to make sure that she stays safe. And so, again, I'm grateful. You answered it exactly how I wanted you to be able to answer it, because it is important for everybody to know, because, that's one of the things, not only for the gorgeous women, but I would hate to have that on a stylist, right? That they were just going about their business and giving her her manicure, and because of the manicure, she received an infection, or she, and it wasn't on purpose. Nobody does anything on purpose, but she had an open wound and the precautions weren't taken. And because of that, then her treatment had to be stalled. And so it's just all of those things. So I'm grateful that you are on that team that go in and you educate those salons the importance of the different things that we teach throughout the Hello Gorgeous experience. So that being said,
I'm honored to be a part of it.
Well, I'm grateful. So that being said, tell me about your favorite makeover so far. Like who comes to mind, and tell me about that makeover.
They're just like asking me about favorite shows and different things. It's almost like that to me, because each makeover brings a different aspect and a different things that you deal with, and everybody is different. And I have seen so many. My first one with Dr. Angie just was amazing.
Yes.
She was just a sweetheart, and she was just, finishing up her treatments, and she was still tired. And I think the best part is to see what energy it brings to these women and how happy they are. And I will say that some of the certifications that I've done, that I haven't really been hands-on with the actual makeover because we're there educating and to teach, but some of those makeovers are just awesome. I've seen a woman go from coming in and not thinking she can even make it through the facial to having a dance-off with somebody at the end. And it's awesome.
It wasn't just a dance-off. It was a dance-off with her favorite morning news show host.
Her favorite morning show host. Yes. Her favorite celebrity.
Yes, and in Grand Rapids.
I'll tell you, we were amazed. I could not believe it, because she wasn't even through half of the makeover, and you could tell she was exhausted. And boy, at the end, to see her dance.
Oh yeah.
And not want to stop.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
It is.
It's like we breathe life back into them, and I don't think
we do.
Yeah, and the before and after pictures are great, but until you actually witness it live in person and watch that come alive, you can't appreciate it. But
gosh, no. We tell everybody that you have to experience it firsthand right there, because you cannot put the feelings into words.
That's right. So one of the things that you do, one of the services that you offer, we're going to shift gears just a little bit, although this does coincide with the work that you do with Hello Gorgeous, because you take care of women battling cancer as well. So you do cosmetic tattooing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Right now, I do the cosmetic tattooing. I focus on mainly brows and eyeliner at the moment. However, I'm doing further training into the 3D areola repigmentation. And that is for women who have had the breast reconstruction and they have not been able to save the nipple because sometimes the skin dies and it just can't be saved. So then you're able to tattoo it on to look real, and it makes the woman feel whole again. I apprenticed for approximately 2 years, and I really love it. I try to help women too, because their brows, when they go through their cancer treatments, a lot of them lose all of their hair, and it doesn't always grow back the right way. So a lot of them have come to me for help with their brows, and I am happy to help. I do as much as I can for them, but it really is amazing what you can do with a tattoo and how realistic you can make it look.
Well, and that was
just amazing how it makes the women feel.
And that was my next question. So how do you, because I've seen some of the tattoos that you've done, how is it that you get those tattoos to look so natural?
A lot of practice, a lot of training. I always tell people with that also, just like the makeup, I am very conservative. I would rather have you come in for a couple of sessions and we perfect it than overdo it or do too much at once. And I think you can continue learning forever. I still am taking classes. I am still learning. I love to work with other permanent makeup artists because you can learn something new from everyone and you can learn something new every day. But I think the biggest thing is to get that good training in, practice, 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 and don't work on people until you really, really feel comfortable with it. I think too many people get into things too fast.
Yes.
And they really don't get the education that they should.
Well, and so that was interesting because I got to be by your side as you went through the tattooing when you were learning how to do the eyebrows, and it still amazes me. You practiced on pig's ears. And so
yes.
when you talk about practice, you weren't necessarily practicing on people, although you did some of that too. But that was amazing to me because a pig's ear is the same. I don't want to say strength, but it's like doing somebody's eyebrow. I learned that. That was amazing to me. That was amazing to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, I learned I had no clue that you could work on a pig's ear and that's would help you perfect an eyebrow when it was on a woman walking around in town. So, just real quickly. So I, as you said, I get lash extensions. I think I've gotten them for 4 or 5 years. Let's talk just for about 60 seconds about the difference between false eyelashes and eyelash extensions.
Mm-hmm. The lash extensions that I do, they are individual semi-permanent. So I glue them on an individual eyelash. We do a 1-to-1. And the glue-in products that are used are made specifically for the lash extensions. False lashes are made to be worn usually 24 hours. Some people make them last, 48 hours or a little bit longer. But those are just temporary for the day. They can be taken off really easy. However, I always say, as we do on women who are battling cancer, don't try to do lashes. You have to be very careful, and you don't want to harm their skin.
Well, and you were one that told me though too, and I've used this when I think about things and going forward in my teaching. It's that it's not so much about the lashes itself, but they could have a reaction to the adhesive. They could have a reaction to the adhesive remover, and the actual lash extensions don't touch the skin. But you had somebody that was actually allergic to the fumes.
Yes.
From the lash extensions.
From the lash extensions. And you could think that you're not allergic to anything, but you never know how your body is going to react to something.
That's right.
And you can acquire an allergy at any time and just not know.
That's right. That's right. All right. So we've got about a minute left. So tell me, everyone these days is all into life hacks. What are a couple of makeup life hacks that you've learned that you can share with us?
I don't know if you want to call them life hacks or tips and tricks, but I will say a couple of huge things is take care of your skin because your makeup looks as good as your skin does.
Amen.
If you put something on your skin and you do not have good skin, it is definitely going to show it more. Another huge thing is an old school way of testing your color match was on the inside of your wrist.
Oh,
Please don't do that.
Okay.
Do it on your neck and your chest. Because one of my pet peeves is your face is darker than your chest or vice versa, and you want them to match. You want it to all blend together.
That's a great idea.
So always color match on your neck and your chest so your face matches.
That's awesome.
So those things are huge.
That's perfect. All right. Well, we are almost out of time. So I wanted to say thank you, Aimee, for joining us today. I appreciate you taking the time out to speak with me and share the work that you do.
Thank you so much.
I'm so excited you were here. Listen, if you have any questions or comments or would like to know more about the guests on our show today or for more information about Hello Gorgeous, feel free to contact me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org or visit our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. We invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and download our mobile app. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for joining us on Hello Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and until next time, stay gorgeous.
Another beautiful day, walking in the sunshine, spending the time with you. Last night we had a good time, dancing in the moonlight and loving the night away. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like without you. I can't imagine that.